Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of 10 Minutes with JPIDS. I'm your editor-in-chief, Ravi Jhaveri. I'm really thrilled to be joined by two of our associate editors, Felice Adler and Chris Blyth. Our hope today is to give you guys sort of an insider's view of the role of the AEs. Chris and Felice will be, sadly for us, rotating off the team this year as part of our AE terms of service, but we wanted to give them a chance to talk about their experience and to give future prospective AEs a look. Like our listeners know, the first question is always the same, which is that I'm a superhero nerd and I like asking people their origin story. So maybe Felice, can you tell us your PEDS ID origin story?
Sure. So I went to Vanderbilt University for medical school and quickly made best friends with another woman in my class who one day said, I'm going to meet this doctor today that I heard is amazing and you should come with me. I heard she's really great and her name is Kathy Edwards. Do you want to come with me? I'm like, okay, sure, sounds good. And so we went and we met with Kathy, and she took us on rounds, and then she took us home and she fed us and she introduced us to her whole family. And so basically, from my first week of med school, I was ready to be a peds infectious disease doctor.
I love that. Maybe I should just feed all the residents. That might be inspiring for everyone. That's awesome. I mean, I'm not as awesome as Kathy is, but that's pretty cool. Chris, how about you? What's your origin story?
Yeah, so I'm an Australian infectious diseases physician. So I trained on both east and west coast of Australia. And I suppose my attraction to the field was the ability to go from a ICU patient through to a public health problem and back again in the same day. So there's always been a natural affinity with me and infectious diseases practice, and I love it even today.
All right. Um, okay, that's great. Um, we're here to talk about the role of the associate editor. And so maybe first I want to give both of you props because both of you serve, in my opinion and experience, a really unique role, which is that many of our associate editors are super expert in their area of interest. And I feel like I have relied on the two of you heavily for being sort of the jack of all trades and being able to be flexible and manage papers that sort of come out of left field that may not fit in anyone's box very well. And the two of you have been tremendous in handling the papers and coming up with reviewers and synthesizing the comments. I want to make sure that I share the love because you guys have done a tremendous job. But with that sort of role in mind as sort of the jack of all trades associate editors, can you both share your thoughts about how you approach those papers and sort of a couple of the key things you keep in mind as you're looking at them? Maybe Chris, do you want to go first?
Yeah, very happy to go first. I ask myself two questions every time I see a paper comes across my desk. Would this be of interest to the practicing ID physician? We see some great papers and great science through the editorial box, but some of them clearly don't fit in JPID. So that's the first question I ask. And then I usually go straight to the methods. Is this the right way to answer this important question? And usually, once I've gone through those two pieces and answered those two questions, it's pretty clear in my mind, is this one that I'm sending out for review, or is this one that would have a better home in somewhere else? Or is this one that probably needs to be reworked and we need to give some constructive feedback to the authors about how to make it a better paper? And I see that as an important part of our role. Not only is it making sure that what is accepted in JPIDS is high quality science that changes practice, but also how do we make sure that the quality of the science by our profession continues to improve?
Love it. Thanks. Felice, how about you?
Well, first, I want to say that I really appreciate the Jack of all trades moniker. I mean, I think it's been great. I've learned so much about so many different subjects by having that role, and so it's really been incredible. When I get a paper, I agree with everything that Chris said. I mean, I certainly look at that. I also try to pick reviewers who I feel like are experts in the field, but also good at giving constructive criticism. because I want to be able to send the authors back something that they can work with, even if ultimately we're not going to publish it. I want them to really have some good reviews and something that they can move forward with. I also think about how the paper fits into like the larger picture of what we're trying to do in PEDS ID to try to decide if this is going to help our clinicians that are reading the journal move forward. So those are some of the things I do in addition to what Chris said.
I love it. And again, you guys have done a tremendous job doing that. So maybe can you share, each of you, one thing that kind of caught you by surprise that you weren't expecting when you took the AE role? Felice, maybe I'll start with you this time.
Okay. So I was really surprised. So I don't know if you're going to want to edit this out, but one of the things I was most surprised by is how often I was checking my inbox to see if any of the reviewers I invited said yes. So I imagine it's a bit like online dating. Like there was a lot of people politely saying no, there was some ghosting. But then every now and then we'd get an amazing reviewer who would say yes and do an incredible job. And then I was like, "Ah, this is wonderful. I love it." Um, but that's
We're definitely not editing that out. I'm just going to say right now.
that's the joking side. I mean, in all seriousness, um, I was surprised by how much I was kind of left in the gray area for papers. So most papers, it's not a black and white, like this is the best paper I ever read or this is the worst paper. It's in that middle zone. And so kind of trying to navigate like what can we improve? This is, pretty good, but can it be better? How do we get it to a place where it's going to be great for our readers? And so that was also really surprising to kind of weigh all the pros and cons. And then I was really surprised and well, not surprised. I mean, I knew this was going to happen, but I just learned so much. It's been an incredible experience. I've learned so much by doing this about I've loved learning from all the other AEs. I've loved hearing how everyone else goes through the process. It's really been an incredible experience and I'm really grateful.
Thanks, Felice. Chris, how about you?
One of the things that surprised me was the willingness of a group of busy, committed people who are doing great clinical work and research together to get together every single week to discuss papers. It really is like an international journal club. So I love it in that way. But it is truly amazing that people of such high caliber want to get together to really try and work with authors to just make great papers. I haven't served on an editorial board such as that with such commitment before, and it truly is amazing. And similar to Felice, I've learned a lot personally, but also a lot actually about the US health system, and actually made great networks from around the globe. I know my go-to person for this problem and that problem now much better from serving on the editorial board than I did beforehand.
I love it. Those both just great nuggets. Okay, maybe last question is what advice would you have for someone who's interested in becoming an AE? Chris, I'll start with you this time.
Yeah, don't be afraid to give it a go. I think there is a wealth of experience there to support you. Everyone has something to bring, whether that be their clinical experience or their research interest. And the only way you're going to, I suppose, get comfortable with doing it is actually to do it. We rely very heavily on our reviewers, and similar to Felice, I suppose I review a broad range of topics. I'm not an expert on any of those. So really, it is an incredible amount to learn. And so just throw yourself in there, give it a go.
Love it. Felice?
Yeah. It's hard to say it better than they say it in Australian, the whole give it a go thing, but I totally agree. Say yes, if the opportunity comes your way because it's an incredible learning and growth opportunity and an incredible opportunity to collaborate with your colleagues. I mean, it's been great.
Love it. So again, both, I want to just highlight one point that Chris said, which is I want to encourage those of our readers and listeners internationally who sort of have the right stuff in terms of experience and breadth of knowledge to consider applying for an AE. As both Felice and Chris mentioned, we do have the weekly meeting, and so there's a commitment to try to fit that into your schedule. But I hope you, in listening to Felice and Chris share their experience, think that that's been just a tremendous experience and would be a tremendous experience. So again, I want to thank both of you so much from the bottom of my heart about all the help and service and dedication you've shown to the team and to the journal. We'll miss you guys, but you'll always be part of the JPIDS family. There's no doubt. And then just before we end, I want to give a shout out to Kayla. Kayla's been our producer at the 10 Minutes with JPIDS for the episodes up until now. Kayla's going to be moving out to nursing school, so we want to give her a big shout out and huge congratulations and good luck, and thank her for everything she's done to get us off the ground. So with that, thanks to all, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care, all.
Bye.
All right.